Okay, well, I was reading some people's posts. If they're quoting Sananda, the Ascended Master, and I looked at it and I said, that's not Sananda, because when I talked with Sananda through a channel, Sananda didn't sound at all like what this person was putting down under Sananda's name. So, if Sananda was going to be here, what we would first do is we would start with welcoming in the elementals, the angelic hierarchy, everyone topside, which basically means people in heaven, the ascended masters, the divas, elementals, welcoming them all, and then we'd do a healing circle. So what we would do is, with the people that were there, we would go around the ring of people, and if you wanted to put yourself in the circle, you could, if you wanted healing, or if there was someone that you knew that needed some help, then you could put their name in the circle. And that's how we started it off. And then we went around the circle, and we would, if we had questions that we wanted to have answered, or subjects that we wanted to have discussed, then we would basically just tell out loud what we wanted to talk about, what questions we had, and what information we were looking for. And then the trance channel would go into trance, and what the trance channel said was, it was a man, he said, what I do is I get out of the way. So I go find a quiet corner in the back of my head, and I get out of the way so that the channel can come through, and there's lots of room for the channel. So I think what happens with some people who channel is they don't get out of the way. They don't make enough room for the channeled entity to come in. So people call this a distortion. And what I saw today was a lot of very preachy words, very religious, very judgmental, very you should do this and you should do that. And I'm telling you, when I was talking with Sananda and getting Sananda's lectures, it wasn't like that at all. So if you're listening to a Sananda person and it's all preachy, you should do this and you should do that, and I'm judging you, this is not the way you should be in 3D or 5D, it's crap. That channel is a piece of shit, and turn it off. That is not what an ascended master is like. They are not like picking up the Old Testament of the Bible and ye shall do this and ye shall do that, do's and don'ts and proscribed things. No, not at all. What would they say? Okay, well, when I say they, I mean the Ascended Masters, because this channel would bring through different Ascended Masters, but usually Sananda was the one that came. And, well, he would give you a lecture based upon all the subjects that you'd asked for, and then would go on for quite some time. And at the end of the lecture, we would go around the room with the different people that were there, and it would time for individual questions. And so if you had any individual questions, then you could have Sananda ask you questions. Sometimes Sananda would say, well, I think we should have a guided meditation or a meditation. Or a lot of times, if you'd ask Sananda a question, Sananda would say, it's time for you to do your own thing, getting your answers from within. So sometimes he would say, okay, well, just you take your question. Like sometimes he would say, which ascended master are you working with now? And then you'd get quiet, everyone would go within, get quiet, and then we'd go around the circle, and Sananda would say, well, who did you get? So it would come from you. It wouldn't be preaching, it wasn't preaching. Even when there were answers were coming, it wasn't preachy. The information wasn't judgmental. It was pretty much neutral information for you. So, and if you went within, that's what Sananda, in the end, he always said, I'm not here to do your homework. He's basically teaching you how to get answers through yourself, rather than relying on him or anyone else to answer questions for you. Go within and get your own questions. When I couldn't get any answers from the inside, Sananda suggested that I go for body work. So I did. I went to see someone who did body work, and I had a lot of body work done. And did it help? Absolutely helped wonderfully. So if you're feeling like, people say, go within, the answers are within, and you're not getting anything, go for a really good massage. I went for like a good 2-hour massage. So go for a major, invest in a good massage too. Not like a namby-pamby one. It should be somebody who's getting right into the muscles, and they should be working on your joints. So they should be rotating your arms and legs around, because there's lots where a lot of stuck emotional energy gets stuck in your joints and your muscles. So, in conclusion, Sananda said it's harvest time. And harvest time is a time when you are asked to develop mastery. He always talked about, because that's what an ascended master is. So mastery is what he was always talking about. And various ways of achieving mastery, but mastery of any subject means that you have to be well versed in it. And, in the end, I also wanted to talk a little bit about what did Sananda say about being in a human body. Well, he said basically, surprise, surprise to all you religious fundamentalists, he said enjoy your body. That's what you've got it for. And he was not an anti-sensual or anti-sex kind of person. It wasn't like a judgmental prude Puritan at all. So if you get these kind of Old Testament things, that's not Sananda at all. Not the one that I experienced. It was very much, someone that certainly knows humans and is not someone who's preachy about, being a prude and whatever. So let's see, what else would he say? He did mention the Illuminati as being the negative force in the world, and that it was a great play in consciousness. So I think the whole point about the Illuminati is definitely not saying join the Illuminati, but it's, whichever way the Illuminati is going, it pretty much gives you a direction not to go. If you want to ascend, don't follow the Illuminati. If you don't really understand what the Illuminati is, Illuminati are people who are all about controlling others to get rich and powerful. Greed and general nastiness. So if you're going to ascend, don't be looking at, we did talk about prosperity and, getting prosperity. And that was also something he would say about, it didn't feel like you needed to be poor, it didn't have to be like a poor monk or something. I don't think I got that impression at all. And he did encourage us to hang out our own shingles In other words, start our own little businesses if that's what we got going within. Let's see, what else would he tell you? Well, harvest time. So, I think it's tied in with well, what else could I tell you? Harvest time. Harvesting of souls. So, basically, getting out of I don't know how else to put it, harvest time. It wasn't really well explained, harvest time, other than developing mastery. And, I keep coming back to it. It's going within and getting your own answers. So rather than listening to people on, I got so many commercials on my YouTube and Instagram and things about how to do it. And if it doesn't resonate with you, then it doesn't resonate with you. So you have to know if it doesn't feel right for you. Well, I think what you should do is figure out why it doesn't resonate with you. Because it could be it doesn't resonate with you, and maybe it's a flaw in your own programming that you have to really take a look at and say, okay, do I understand why this doesn't vibrate with me? What is it exactly that doesn't vibe? I've got some people believe in this poverty consciousness or something. You can look at it and say, is it poverty consciousness, or is it just I'm not following my bliss? So, what good is it being filthy rich, but, every day you've got to do a job that you don't enjoy? It's pointless. You can have all kinds of things, and, you're really not enjoying your life. So, you still have to follow your bliss, and everybody says, but, a lot of times following your bliss, it doesn't going to pay the bills. I know it's a delicate balancing act, because sometimes it's true that the things that you like to do the most don't pay the bills. So I suppose that's called grounding. It's like, what's realistic? I don't know. I hate to tell you to be realistic, because I hear the voice of, people who say be realistic, and I hate to stomp on people's dreams. So you just got a huge honk right there on that one. So I think that's the universe saying, don't stomp on your dreams. Okay, so that's I listen for these omens, right? If in the middle of me talking, somebody else might say, well, it's just a random timing thing. But, if you're going to believe that there is a universe out here that's conscious of you, well, it's going to be talking to you in different ways. Otherwise, you're just a materialist in a dead world, okay? And I know that's the way that a lot of people think. They think that the universe is basically dead, and, you've got, the grass is somewhat alive. It's living, but it's not very smart. And the trees are living, and they're not smart. And, as far as, non-physical thing, being not smart, well, I'm going to tell you, if you do psychedelic drugs, you will see that it is not true. The universe is conscious and is aware of you. So why do you have to do these things? It's because it opens your consciousness. It cracks through all of the programming that you've been given. And, I can tell you this, but it's only through your experience that you're going to learn things. And, life is about growth. If you don't push your boundaries, you're not going to grow. And the only thing you're going to take from this life into your next life is your realized level of consciousness. So I've read a number of books that say basically what happens when you die to this world is you end up in a world that's very much like this world, and you do it all over again. So what do you bring from this world to the next? Your consciousness, your mind, basically. So, do you want to keep replaying the same story lifetime after lifetime? If that's what's going to happen if you don't push your boundaries. And I know a lot of times that things that are pushing your boundaries are legislated against. We have far too many rules on this planet, and I think the rules are here to be broken. I mean, you just have to look at the people who are at the top of the Illuminati pyramid. How did they get there? By breaking rules. They break the rules. And then some of them, after they've broken the rules and got caught, they get pardoned, and they go off and do a new thing. And it seems like the ones that you hear about that get locked up forever do minor offenses. Not always. I mean, some of them are horrible. But, I mean, I talked about it yesterday. Donald Trump pardoned someone who tortured. It was a soldier who tortured a naked soldier who had no weaponry, no clothes on, tortured them, and then shot them. And this person was pardoned of murder. I don't think you can pardon someone for murder. Something like this. You might say, well, they've served their time, and we're going to give you, I don't know, maybe I don't understand pardoning, but it seems to me pardon means it's like erase your record or something. I mean, you let you out of jail or whatever. I don't know. It just seems to me that it's man's laws that were violated, and then it only seems to be the really rich people or really the weird cases that come to the president to get pardoned. Now, what about all the other people who are in, average Joe communities that have, minor offenses or whatever? They don't get pardoned by the president. It's only, like Lord Black, Conrad Black. He's not even an American citizen, and he's a Canadian citizen, and he's the one that gets pardoned by Donald Trump. Hello? Why are you pardoning him at the top of the list? How about pardoning Leonard Peltier, the long-time First Nations Native American activist who's been in jail forever? Why doesn't he get pardoned? Why Lord Black of Canada? And why this soldier who shot somebody in cold blood and tortured them? Why does that come to the top of your desk, Donald Trump? Anyway, I'm off the topic. I mean, I was talking about Sananda, but what would Sananda say about this situation? Well, he always said, not so much looking for the silver lining. That was somebody else that said look for the silver lining, but he always said, what is the gift? So, for me, what is the gift is it opens your eyes time and again that the people like Donald Trump, who seem to have, I don't know, all his tax returns came out and he seemed to have lost all kinds of money, but they kept giving him money, and he's still living high on the hog, and he's had all these mistresses, so he's cheating on his different wives. Well, if you elect a scoundrel to be president, then what's he going to look after? He's going to look after other scoundrels. So the gift is more seeing. You can start to really see it. I know there's some people that he's going to make America great again. And then all the statistics come out in the mainstream news, and I look at them and I say they're ridiculous. All these new jobs. I was like, no, I don't think they are. I mean, I saw them talk about closing down the car plants and sending them to Mexico. So that's not new jobs. I mean, is it more jobs at Taco Bell for whatever your state's minimum wage is? So it's the gift of Donald Trump is to stop looking to human saviors to save you. In my case, it's basically coming to the conclusion that it doesn't matter what party you vote for, you're never going to like them because they're always idiots. They're either self-serving and they're looking to go enrich themselves and their friends, or they want to put more rules on you, what you can and can't do. And it seems like pretty much one way or another, the taxes are going to go up, the prices are going to go up, and, anyway. So the last little bit I'll give you is, where is your Sananda? In other words, I do my different cosmic characters on this comedy channel, and sometimes I just can't seem to channel Sananda. Sananda won't come through, and so the best I can do is tell you about when I used to go to see someone who did do Sananda. And it's not a religious thing. Sananda is not religious. It's about mastery. And he said that in one of his lifetimes he was Jesus. I don't know. I mean, his personality doesn't seem like Jesus to me. Sananda's a different personality. And what do I know? I don't have access to these so-called Akashic records about everything that's going on. Do they exist? Yes, they must exist. I've been shown that others do have all kinds of information about me that you wouldn't believe. But in the end, all I want to say is the version of Sananda that I saw, he's definitely, he's not about profiteering on others, but, when he says hang out your shingle, it's basically what you're good at. You can have a business doing what you're good at. What's my business and what's my shingle? Well, I've tried a number of things to hang up my shingle, and I met one guy at the karaoke bar who plays casinos. Basically he sings and he plays the guitar, and he said, well, I get $1,500 a gig. And I thought, geez, if I got $1,500 to do one show at a casino, I'd be very happy with that. I mean, I've done, like Reiki or a different kind of massage for like $80, and it's not enough. I mean, the thing is that you think, well, how long is your, say it's 2 hours between you setting up, closing down, and doing your thing. So $80. Well, the thing is that you're pretty much, you're not necessarily exhausted, but I don't think you want to do 4 a day. And my massage teacher said you should plan to do 4 of these a day. So 4 of these a day, it's still not $1,500. That's quite a bit if you did 4 at $80 a day. I just never felt like, first of all, there wasn't the clientele to do 4 a day. And after I did one of these things, could I do 2 a day? Maybe some days, not 4 a day. It's too much. Why is it? Because I like to do lots of different things. And doing 4 massages a day, I would get bored doing it. I mean, it's a lovely energy, but I'm just not someone that likes to do the same thing day after day. Other than talk to you here on the internet. So, what other shingles can I offer you? Well, I can come and sing for you. I can give you a lecture on all kinds of things. If you want a personal lecture, you should just send me a message about what your questions are. I'll laugh about it. I'm not going to put out that I'll give you a personal blessing, bless you. Okay? I don't charge for blessings. Some people say, well, that's why I guess I've got issues with money. A lot of times I saw my friend there yesterday. He didn't have any money and he wanted $5. I gave him $20. And then he said, I'll pay you back. And well, he didn't show up on the day he said he was going to. So it's like, maybe he'll pay me another day. A lot of people don't pay me back. And what do I feel about it? Well, other people, not these ones, have been good to me. So, sometimes I find myself not, once I've been burned by some people, I won't, continually give to them. I don't know. It's really not up to me. But you might say, well, why isn't it up to you? You're the one. Because the one that's talking right now is not the body. The body is not run by me, the voice. The body is gifted to do what it wants to do. So we're related, but it does what it wants to do, and I don't even know if it's what it wants to do or what it's given to do. We always say life itself runs the body. So, but how does that make sense? Well, I mean, if you can channel an ascended master, the ascended master is coming into the body, or coming through the body that you normally use to talk. So, I mean, if channeling can happen, well, that means that your personality moved out of the way and another one came in. And if all the different personalities can come through you, well, then you're really not always the body, are you? So you see, and if you can look into like Egyptian mythology, and they've got all kinds of different names for different aspects of beings that seem to work together, but still have individuality. Anyway, that's kind of another lecture. But that's basically the end of my lecture on Sananda. And, that's why if I see somebody who says it's from Sananda, it's very religious, preachy, Old Testament, Bible, Leviticus, or whatever, I'm going to say that's not the Sananda I know. So that's what this one's all about. And if you have questions, you can send me a message and I'll do a lecture. I'm given to do that. Please subscribe and like and share this video if you feel so inclined.